Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into the Money Making Monday segment. And just gone by was sports, which was brought to you by Nathaniel Ato. He's going to be here again tomorrow. Make sure you're part of that conversation as well. But this morning here on the show, we always try as much as possible every Monday to motivate you to go look for money. And whilst you're looking for the money, you're thinking about how you're going to sustain whatever amount that you've made. I don't know what you intend to make today or this morning, but we're here to let you know that the week is going to be good and you need to just keep yourself going, all right? So we're talking about, it's a new year, 2026. Everybody is looking at how they're going to, make some profit, how they're going to make some money and all of those things. But this morning, we're narrowing our conversation to how you can actually make your money work for you. And sometimes it's quite difficult, looking at income, how to make wealth and all of those things. So helping us to understand it better is Nelson Kujo Kwabezi, right?
Exactly.
Oh boy, he's the head of finance, Melbourne Capital, and he's spending time with us this morning to let us understand how we can actually earn money and also ensure that we keep our wealth. When we say earn money, what exactly are we looking at?
All right, thank you very much for having me in your studios this morning. When we say earn money, I would rather say earn income.
Earn income, okay.
Yes. And so in Ghana, typically, there are three general sources from which you can earn your income. I mean, the first one is employment income, which is paid to you at the end of the month by your employer. The second one has to do with a business income.
Okay.
That is income that you generate from any other business that you do apart from your main, employment. And then the last one is investment income, which you generate as a result of your investment, most especially financial investment. And so generally there are three sources of income. In fact, when you read the Income Tax Act that regulates the taxation of income in Ghana, it lists business income, employment income, business income, and investment income. So these are the three main sources from which you can generate an income. There may be some other subsidiary sources, but these are the three main sources that you can generate an income in Ghana.
Okay. And when you're able to put all of these three things together that you mentioned, does that qualify one to be wealthy?
Not necessarily, because, there are people who work in Ghana that their salary is less than 2,000. That is your employment income.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some 5,000 bond or treasury bill, so you earn about some 200, 300 cedis interest, looking at how the rates have gone down now.
Okay.
And maybe apart from that, you are not doing any business. And so you cannot say you are wealthy as a result of this. So we need to categorize it into various segments. Somebody's salary is about 70,000. Somebody's business income is well over 2 million.
Yep.
And somebody's investment income is a lot. And so we can classify that person to be, so depending on the category that you find yourself, then you can give that proper definition to yourself as to whether you are poor, you are moderately wealthy, you are wealthy, or you are super wealthy. Good.
But so in that case, do any of these things that we have mentioned that we can do to earn income be able to make one become successful or maybe wealthy if the person is able to maintain a certain lifestyle?
Yes, of course. If you look at the world richest people that we have today, their wealth does not come from salaries. Nobody can earn salary, let me say in Ghana and say, I am rich. Because even if your salary, your gross income is 70,000, the cascading effect of income tax will reduce it. And so you cannot say you are rich as a result of you being an employee of a company. However, people are normally rich as a result of investment or business income. Let's take an investment, for instance. People are having so much investment in government treasuries. Bonds, treasury bill, even on the Ghana Stock Exchange. If you look at a company, I won't mention any company, but if you take the listed companies on the Ghana Stock Exchange, you look at an individual holding in that company, that is a lot. So at the end of the day, there are two sources that a person can earn income on that holding, either from capital gains and also from dividend when the company pays dividend at the end of the year. So clearly, yes, you can make wealth as a result of your business income or your business and as a result of your investment.
Okay, so I am a typical guy who is selling, something in the market. Maybe I own a shop or any of the sort, and I have actually said to myself that in the next 5-10 years, I want to be able to use this small amount of money that I'm gaining from what I'm doing to get to a certain point where I can also call myself a rich man. So maybe if I'm saving 1,000 a week or 2,000 a week or any that I can save in a week, it's modest, but yet can I be able to, as it were, continue on this path and be rich?
Good. So wealth building is not an event.
Okay.
It doesn't happen all of a sudden. Wealth building takes a longer time. That is why when you want to build wealth that is genuine, that is clean, you must, have that patience to build wealth.
So there's genuine, clean?
Yes, of course, yes. So the gentleman who has the shop, who has been buying treasury bills, 1,000 every month, 1,000 every month, 1,000 every month, just give that gentleman a period of 3 years, 36 months, and see the compounding effect of, the treasury bills that he's building. In late 2024, middle 2024 to late 2024, treasury bill rates were well over 28%. Okay, so if an annual rate of 28% is in treasury bill and you are doing, let's say, 10,000 every month, look at how much you'll be earning, at the end. You do 10,000 every month. Look at how much you earn at the end of just 1 year period. That's a lot. And so you can actually build wealth from a simple beginning. I mean, people build wealth over 10 years, 20 years, but you need to have patience. And that is why one of the key factors in wealth building as far as finance is concerned is patience. If you don't have patience, you cannot build yet. Reason why you invest, rates are falling, then you quickly want to go and take your money. I mean, if you are that kind of person, of course, you will reinvest at a much higher rate. But when the volatilities are persistent, patience is key in order for you to build wealth.
So patience is what you need.
Yes.
Any other thing that you need to be looking at? Because a lot of people also, their lifestyle sometimes, influence how they are able to save or not able to save, especially those who are not probably interested in the treasury bills, but they are doing other forms of saving.
All right. We need to clearly define or distinguish between savings and investment because they are not the same concept.
Okay.
But before we get to that distinction, if you look at a typical personal, financial planning cycle, first of all, it involves the income. So where we mentioned the 3 categories of income: employment income, business income, and investment income. Then after you have earned the income, the next thing to do is to, offset your expenditure. And so one of the key and most fundamental thing to do as far as wealth building is concerned for a middle class worker like you and I is to do what you call personal planning and budgeting.
Okay.
You understand? Even at the governmental level, every year the finance minister comes to present budget and tell us, okay, this is where we are getting revenue and this is the expenditure we intend to use the revenue for. At company level, normally October, November, we normally go for strategic session where we want to see the direction of the company, the income we intend to make during the year, and the expenditure. And so at the micro level, at the personal level, it is very important. Even you seated there, I'm sure for the month of January or first quarter, you have not made any personal expenditure sheet. So before you can build wealth, you need to plan. You earn the income, how much is going into expenditure? How much is going into savings? How much is going into investment? And of course, how much will go into protection, which is insurance. Because you drive a car, you pay premium every year. And so you need to factor all those things into the budget for you to know how much will be left after I am able to do all these things. Now, it becomes a personal decision. The salary hits my account. Do I have to spend before investing or I invest part?
Which one comes first?
Exactly. Now, if you look at salaries generally in Africa, not only in Ghana, they are not really, encouraging. And then also we work from 6 to 6, which means that it's only few people who are able to do the side hustle to get that business income that can supplement the employment income. And so it becomes a personal decision. Do you want to invest part of the income before what is left you spend, or you want to spend what is left before you invest? And don't forget to, in that particular cycle, there is an emergency fund. If something should happen to you today, who are you going to fall on?
Yeah.
Are you going to fall on your emergency fund? You get it?
Yeah.
If today you decide not to work with joy, can you live your life for the next 6 months without any issue? And so all these things must be factored into consideration before you decide how much you can even invest. Now, let me come back to the substantive question.
Yeah.
You can build wealth through various means. But if you look at Ghanaian economy in particular, sometimes it becomes very difficult because now even if you want to go into government treasury, bonds, treasury bill and the rest, the rates are very low. I mean, just yesterday or last week, government registered oversubscription because if you look at the market, there is no much investment vehicle that you can really do. And then because 10% on 10,000 or 1,000 cedis every month, how much will it? But in spite of that, you still need to take advantage of the financial system, the financial market, in order to, get something on your investment. Then in terms of your side hustle business, what can you do? Most Ghanaians are into trading. I mean, you see almost every lady trying to do something on, either they are selling hair or they are selling lady styles and all kind of those things. That will also help you in a way to supplement, your employment income, whilst the savings that or the investment that you do from your employment income will also generate, an investment income. Then when you put the three together, you can build wealth over time, and that can be sustainable, and that is actually doable. But one of the things that also affect wealth creation has to do with discipline. You see, because even if you look at the expenditure, we have fixed expenditure or fixed expenses that you incur. Your landlord is there every month, you pay, utilities you pay. Things that are fixed, data, you pay, electricity you pay. There are also some variable expenses that we also incur on monthly basis. And that one is also, they are variable because they are not fixed. They are dependent on an event. So maybe this month, you can decide, okay, I will just go in for 1 bag, 5 kg of rice. So those ones are variable. Those ones, so you need them. But there are some other expenses that are what you call discretionary expenses, or what you also call impulsive buying. You see something online, Charlie, this and do I need it? You just place an order, it can. Then it eats into your income that could have otherwise been, put into investment. And so wealth creation is actually, it takes focus, it takes intentionality, it takes discipline before you can create wealth over time.
And when you all these processes, when you are going through all these processes and you have a foresight of what you're basically getting in return, does that sometimes motivate you to be able to do more? Or it's more or less like, well, this is what I'm doing, and
I think it's a means to an end.
Okay.
The objective you intend to achieve will actually motivate you to do that investment or that wealth creation. Buying car in Ghana it's not like tomatoes, isn't it? So you cannot just go to the guy and say, how much is this car? I'm buying it. No, it doesn't work that way. And so you need to save over time. Because of the objective that you want to achieve, you need to save over time or invest over time in order to accumulate that bulk money to go in for whatever you want. So the end objective or what you intend to use that wealth created for, I think it's a motivational factor as far as wealth creation and personal financial management is concerned.
If you look at our system, especially, and maybe I'll dwell a bit on the youth. If you look at our system right now, the banking sector, as against what the youth intend to actually, gain from investing or doing anything with the bank, do you think that has been encouraging enough? Is it something that...
Well, rates are generally falling. And I just mentioned that the 91-day Treasury bill rate is around 10.8%. Inflation is at 5.4%.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the rate of inflation and the benchmark 91-day interest rate, you realize that the difference is not really, encouraging. And as much as possible, banks also want to lower their interest expense. When you send money to the bank for either savings account or fixed deposit, they'll pay you interest. They also want to lower the rate so that you not pay so much, because there is a benchmark percentage that every banks try to achieve in terms of their, interest expense. And so as a young person, when you take your money to the bank, you realize that the interest is not really, you send 10,000, 20,000 to the bank and they say fixed deposit is 8%. it's not really, encouraging. And recently, the Bank of Ghana, governor said that banks should get ready to start lending at single digit, which is good for the economy, which is good for businesses. But in terms of investment, especially for lower middle income earners like you and I, it's not going to be encouraging to send your money to the financial institution for investment, because the rates are very low.
Okay. All right. We have to go, but before we do so, let's talk about Melbourne. What are you doing? What is also out there?
All right. Melbourne Capital is an investment firm. We do all kinds of investment. We are specialists when it comes to pensions management.
Okay.
That is our main focus. And if you have any other investment that you intend to do, just come to us. Sometimes you may have the money, but you may not know where to place the fund. But once you come to us, we'll sit you down, look at your risk appetite level, then we propose to you what exactly, is good for you. And we also conduct research. And so we conduct research on the Ghanaian financial system. When I mean financial system, I mean the entire economy. We conduct research to see where somebody can place their funds for a higher, return. So it's an investment house that we do all kinds of things. So anything that is financial investment, come to us, we'll propose a solution for you.
Okay, and I'm definitely coming there because this year I've decided to do a lot of investment. I'm investing everywhere. So thank you so much,
Thank
Nelson.
you for having
Kujo Kwagbedzi. I got it.
Yeah, you got it right. Yes.
He's the head of finance, Melbourne Capital, and he's been telling us all that we need to do to ensure we're able to create some wealth for ourselves. It's very important. 2026, please be disciplined and always make sure that your money can do a lot for you if you're able to, stay disciplined and keep those monies there. Until next week, we'll bring another segment of, Money Making Monday. This is how we wrap up for today's edition of Prime Morning. We're back again tomorrow at 6 a.m. here on Joy Prime. My name is KMJ. I was here with the CEO of the Golden Girl, of course, Rosalind Felly. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good morning.
Thank you.